For many years, I've been singing praises about the benefits of Eclonia cava, which is a brown seaweed that has some remarkable health effects, specifically for sleep, for reducing anxiety, helping with stress, supporting blood flow, acting as an antioxidant, and much more. So in today's video, we're going to do a deep dive, no pun intended, underwater into the benefits of Eclonia cava, which is a brown algae that I've been a fan of for many, many years. So it's actually an edible brown seaweed, kelp. That's a type of kelp that's native to the waters of Japan and Korea. And it grows underwater kelp forests and has been traditionally consumed and used as a folk remedy in East Asia. Now, it contains various bioactive compounds and derivatives, including fluorotannins, peptides, carotenoids, and fucoidins. So now, Eclonia cava has been the subject of over 15 years of scientific research and boasts centuries of traditional use. More than $35 million has been invested into its study. However, until recently, a major issue with Eclonia cava products on the market was the absence of a botanical reference material. Without this, brands had no reliable way to verify the authenticity of the Eclonia cava they were selling. Fortunately, Nootropics Depot, in collaboration with a Korean university, developed the first validated reference material. When they began using this standard, they were unable to find legitimate Eclonia cava on the market, even among the largest US-based brands. After 6 years of work, Nootropics Depot now offers one of the only, or possibly the only, verified Eclonia cava products available. They have also released a standardized version containing the key bioactive compound dichol. This is significant as polyphenols derived from Eclonia cava are structurally distinct from those found in land-based plants and may be among the most potent antioxidants in nature, estimated to be 10 to 100 times more powerful than typical polyphenols. We need to look at how it's actually harvested. Eclonia cava is notoriously difficult to harvest because it is a protected species by the Korean government. You cannot harvest it directly from the ocean. You have to wait for it to wash up on shore, and this usually only happens when the islands are hit with cyclones. Nootropics Depot has set up a facility in Korea and built relationships with multiple suppliers to be able to get enough supply to reach production. Interestingly, the specific parts of a Korean island it washes up on makes a big difference to the amount of dichol it contains, and this allows the creation of a standardized Eclonia cava that contains a high amount of dichol natively. This gives Nootropics Depot's Eclonia cava a strong edge compared to competitors.
If you're someone that's been trialing different supplements and you're still lacking that energy, spark, drive, and overall vitality, then you may want to check out my brand new supplement that I've just released called Catwa Pure. Catwa Pure harnesses the power of a particular Amazonian herb known as Catwaba bark, which has been used for centuries to boost mood, enhance energy levels, and act as an aphrodisiac. So definitely check out Catwa Pure. You can learn more by visiting inbeforesups.com.
Moving on, let's have a look at the bioactive compounds that are present in Eclonia cava. Eclonia cava is rich in several bioactive compounds that are thought to underpin its health effects. Fluorotannins, brown algal polyphenols. These are a class of polyphenolic tannins unique to brown seaweeds. Eclonia cava contains a variety of fluorotannins such as ecol, dichol, bicol, fluorofucofuroyl A, and others. Fucoidan, like many brown algae, Eclonia cava contains fucoidan, a complex sulfated polysaccharide found in its cell walls. Fucoidan is known for multiple bioactivities. It has demonstrated anticoagulant, antithrombotic, anti-inflammatory, and immune modulating properties in research. Other constituents, Eclonia cava provides minerals and fibers common to seaweeds. Notably, it contains marine sterols like fucosterol and small amounts of vitamins. Fucosterol has been investigated for cholesterol lowering and antioxidant effects in other algae. Eclonia cava is also a natural source of iodine, which is essential for thyroid function, though this is a nutritional aspect, not a unique bioactive, and will be discussed later. In this video, we'll go into the research on Eclonia cava's health benefits, looking at a mixture of human, animal, and cell studies. So in this video, we'll go into the research on Eclonia cava's health benefits, looking at a mixture of human, animal, and cell studies. So first of all, sleep enhancement. Guys, I have used Eclonia cava for many years, and I've recommended this particular ingredient to many clients. And the way that it makes me feel when I wake up is extremely refreshed. Like, I feel like I've had really, really deep sleep, almost comparable to like low dose cyproheptadine or periactin, or MK677, or even a low dose phenibut. It's really powerful. So research suggests that Eclonia cava extracts may improve sleep quality. Notably, Eclonia cava's fluorotannins can act on the GABA benzodiazepine receptor in the brain, the same pathway used by calming or sedative agents. In laboratory studies, Eclonia cava extracts enhance GABA receptor activity, prolonging sleep in mice. The major fluorotannins bind to the benzodiazepine site of the receptor, and their sedative effect was blocked by the GABA antagonist flumazenil, indicating a benzodiazepine-like mechanism. These results imply that fluorotannins induce sleep by positive allosteric modulation of GABA receptors, essentially increasing the neurotransmitter GABA's calming effect. Moving on, there's another important study to pay close attention to, and that is a human clinical trial in adults with self-reported sleep disturbances. Shown in the study below, fluorotannin supplement decreases wake after sleep onset in adults with self-reported sleep disturbance, a randomized controlled double-blind clinical trial and polysomnographic study. So this is really, really cool. Subjects took a fluorotannin-rich Eclonia cava supplement or placebo each night for 1 week. Polysomnography revealed that the Eclonia group had significantly less wakefulness after sleep onset compared to placebo. Participants also reported an increase in sleep duration. There were no serious adverse effects noted. While total sleep quality scores did not drastically change, the ability to maintain sleep improved. These findings suggest Eclonia cava's compounds can serve as a natural sleep aid, possibly helping with insomnia by shortening nighttime awakenings. The mechanism aligns with these outcomes. The human study was short and focused on mild sleep issues, so longer trials are needed to confirm benefits for chronic insomnia. Moving on to the anti-inflammatory effects. Eclonia cava exhibits anti-inflammatory effects largely due to its fluorotannins, which inhibit key inflammatory pathways. Mechanistically, extracts upregulate the NRF2/H01 antioxidant defense system and suppress nuclear factor kappa B activation, reducing downstream production of nitric oxide, PGE2, and cytokines such as interleukin-6, interleukin-1 beta, and TNF-alpha. In lipopolysaccharides stimulated raw 264.7 macrophages, Eclonia cava extracts significantly lowered nitric oxide and cytokine levels. In a rat model of periodontitis, oral Eclonia cava reduced gingival inflammation and alveolar bone loss by downregulating IL-1 beta and matrix metalloproteinases. In a dextran sulfate sodium-induced colitis mouse model, pre-treatment with Eclonia cava mitigated disease severity, improved colon length, and lowered inflammatory cytokines. Additionally, in a neuroinflammatory model, Eclonia cava reduced systemic and brain cytokines and suppressed nuclear factor kappa B and signal transducer and activator of transcription 3 signaling. While promising, these results are preclinical. What about as it relates to metabolic health? Well, Eclonia cava also exhibits promising metabolic benefits. Mechanistically, these compounds are believed to inhibit carbohydrate digesting enzymes, alpha-glucosidase, reduce glucose absorption, and enhance insulin sensitivity. In a 12-week randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial, overweight adults were assigned to receive either a placebo or Eclonia cava extract standardized to fluorotannins at lower or higher doses. Both extract groups showed significant reductions in body fat, body mass index, and waist circumference compared to placebo. Serum total cholesterol and LDL cholesterol also declined in both groups, while HDL cholesterol increased significantly in the high-dose group. Additionally, the high-dose group experienced meaningful reductions in fasting blood glucose and systolic blood pressure by the end of the study. No adverse effects were reported, and liver and kidney function markers remained within normal ranges, indicating good tolerability. These findings suggest that Eclonia cava supplementation can improve glycemic control and may serve as a natural adjunct in managing metabolic health. Eclonia cava is a very, very potent antioxidant. We need to pay close attention to this benefit. One of Eclonia cava's most pronounced attributes is its antioxidant power. The fluorotannins in this seaweed are exceptionally potent antioxidants due to their polyphenolic structure. Studies have shown Eclonia cava extracts can directly neutralize various reactive species and also bolster the body's own antioxidant systems. According to a review of the therapeutic effects of Ecol, Eclonia cava fluorotannins exhibit strong radical scavenging activities against DPH, hydroxyl radicals, superoxide, etc. Notably, Ecol, a prominent fluorotannin, was found to activate the NRF2 pathway in cells, which is a master regulator of antioxidant defenses. For instance, in one study using skin cells, Eclonia cava fluorotannins fluorotannins reduced UVB-induced ROS levels and prevented lipid peroxidation and DNA damage in the cells. Comparative tests suggest Ecklonia cava antioxidants are quite effective. In one experiment, a mixture of Ecol and fluorofucofuroecol A at 0.05% was as effective as the same concentration of alpha tocopherol in scavenging peroxyl radicals. What about the potential anti-cancer properties? Of course, this is not medical advice, but it's interesting to see what the research is elucidating as it relates to specifically research on animal studies and so lab clinical trials. This is not in humans, so this is not medical advice. Key studies inhibition of cancer stem-like cells. These are a small group of highly resilient cells within tumors that can restart cancer growth and resist treatments. In glioblastoma, Ecol reduced the ability of these cells to multiply and form new tumors by blocking growth-related signaling pathways. Induction of apoptosis. Apoptosis is a natural process of programmed cell death. In a mouse study, an aqueous Ecklonia cava extract triggered this process in colon cancer cells, leading to tumor shrinkage without damaging healthy tissue. Inhibition of metastasis. Metastasis is the spread of cancer to other parts of the body. In breast cancer cells, dicol slowed this process by reducing the activity of genes involved in cell migration and blood vessel formation, potentially limiting cancer's ability to spread. Limitations. These findings are encouraging, but so far all evidence comes from lab or animal studies. There are no human trials confirming that Ecklonia cava treats or prevents cancer. Also, some of the active compounds may have limited absorption in the human body, and it may be difficult to achieve such levels in the human body. Until more research is done, Ecklonia cava should be seen as a supportive experimental compound, not a proven cancer treatment by any means. Now, one of the biggest benefits of Ecklonia cava is the ability for it to enhance blood flow, so boosting circulation, increasing nitric oxide. So there's many different reasons why Ecklonia cava is great for boosting nitric oxide and helping with blood flow. Ecklonia cava may support circulation through multiple mechanisms. In mice, the compound pyrogalol fluoroglucinol 6,6-Biekel improved blood flow by lowering inflammation, reducing blood pressure, and enhancing blood vessel function. Another animal study showed that dicol increased nitric oxide production, helping vessels dilate. Additionally, Ecklonia cava extract improved endothelial health by reducing inflammation in surrounding fat tissue, which affects vascular tone. Anecdotally, users report warmer extremities and better stamina, likely from improved microcirculation, consistent with known effects of polyphenols on vascular health. What about as it relates to hair growth? This preclinical study tested the effects of Ecklonia cava enzymatic extract on hair growth using mice isolated hair follicles and dermal papilla cells. Topical application mice had their backs shaved and received daily topical application of 0.5% Ecklonia cava extract for 33 days. Results showed faster transition into the anagen phase, with thicker skin and more active hair follicles compared to untreated mice. Hair follicle length cultured rat whisker follicles were treated with 0.01 to 10 micrograms per milliliter of extract. The 1 micrograms per milliliter dose increased hair fiber length by 12%, outperforming both the control and minoxidil group. Lower and higher doses were less effective or inhibitory, showing a clear dose-dependent response. DHT inhibition. The extract and its main compound dicol were tested for 5-alpha reductase inhibition, the enzyme converting testosterone to DHT. At 100 micrograms per milliliter, dicol showed comparable inhibition to finasteride in vitro. This suggests Ecklonia cava may reduce DHT-driven hair follicle shrinkage. However, as I will talk about later, Ecklonia cava seems to be a more natural way to lower DHT in the scalp and potentially doesn't lower systemic DHT. Ultimately, literature is lacking in this area. However, Ecklonia cava is well known for increasing erection quality, probably indicating it does not lower DHT much. Now, what about as it relates to skin aging? What effect does Ecklonia cava have on supporting healthy skin aging? A 2024 study tested Ecklonia cava compounds on aged skin cells and mice. Researchers combined fluorotannins and tiny vesicles from the seaweed and applied them using microneedling. In mice, the treatment improved collagen levels, skin thickness, and elasticity, making old skin behave more like young skin. It also reduced inflammation and oxidative stress and blocked enzymes that break down skin structure. Key skin supporting proteins like laminin were restored. These results suggest Ecklonia cava may help reverse visible signs of aging and support stronger, healthier skin. Now, interestingly, Ecklonia cava may actually help with muscle growth. So a 2021 lab study tested whether compounds from Ecklonia cava could help to build muscle. Researchers use C2C12 cells, which are mouse muscle stem cells commonly used to study muscle growth in the lab. Two compounds, dicol and PHB, stood out. They boosted muscle cell development and increased creatine kinase, a key marker of muscle formation. These compounds blocked myostatin and activated IGF-1 signaling, a natural pathway that stimulates muscle building. Computer models also showed strong binding of DK and PHB to myostatin and IGF-1 receptors, possibly even stronger than testosterone. While promising, these results are early and only in lab-grown cells, not humans. Now, this is also important for those who have allergies or histamine responses. Preclinical research suggests that Aclonia cava may help reduce allergic reactions by calming the immune response. In one study, extracts from Aclonia cava reduced IgE binding and histamine release in human basophil cells, two key steps in triggering allergic symptoms. It worked by downregulating the IgE receptor, which lowers cell sensitivity to allergens. In a second study, the compound dicol was tested in mast cells and allergic mice. Dicol suppressed the release of histamine and inflammatory cytokines like IL-4 and TNF-alpha. It also blocked mast cell activation, the process where immune cells release histamine and other chemicals in response to allergens, and reduce swelling in an allergy skin test. Together, these results show Aclonia cava may help prevent allergic reactions by stabilizing immune cells and reducing their sensitivity to allergens. However, these are lab and animal studies. Human trials are needed to confirm whether these anti-allergic effects translate to real-world use. Now, what about its neuroprotective properties? This is a really fascinating benefit of Aclonia cava. Aclonia cava contains polyphenols like dicol and fluorofucofuroical that may support memory and brain function. In one animal study, ethanol was used to impair memory in mice, mimicking early Alzheimer's-like symptoms. When mice were given oral doses of dicol or PFF for 7 days, their memory performance in a passive avoidance test significantly improved. The treatment raised acetylcholine levels in the brain, a key neurotransmitter for memory, by blocking the enzyme acetylcholinesterase. A second study tested isolated polyphenols in lab settings. Dicol and PFFA showed strong inhibition of acetylcholinesterase and butyrylcholinesterase, as well as inhibition of beta secretase and amyloid precursor protein production, both involved in Alzheimer's disease. These results suggest Aclonia cava compounds may protect the brain through antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and enzyme modulating effects. However, clinical trials in humans are still needed to confirm cognitive benefits. Now, what do people say about authentic Aclonia cava? One guy said that Aclonia cava, made and sold by Nootropics Depot, is one of the most effective health products that he's ever used. Bravo to Nootropics Depot. This Aclonia cava gives me a calm of the spirit and thus greatly helps me to deal with stressful situations and difficult circumstances. It does not make me sleepy or drowsy. However, when I take this product, my sleep is deeper and longer. I probably need such a sleep. Its effects are similar to those of L-theanine, but quite stronger. Its half-life is around 12 hours. I forgot to mention that. It's got a very long half-life, guys. Therefore, I take one capsule a day and no capsule the following day, and I take another capsule on the third day. If Nootropics Depot would offer this type of Aclonia cava in powder form, it would be easier for me to adjust the daily dosage. Thus, I'll be able to use this product every day, but at a lower dosage. Thank you for offering such a top-notch product. This other guy said, I had to restrain myself from writing this after a few days of taking Aclonia cava, as I had been waiting for the release of what it feels like forever. Everything about it sounded like it'd be the perfect newt for me. This has happened with other newts as well. On paper, it looks amazing, but the results are not there. But this time, I was actually right. I noticed skin benefits within 2 days of initial supplementation. My wife, an esthetician, even complimented my skin later that day. I've even removed egg, usually indispensable, and I'm still getting the skin benefits. The GABA-PAM strength is perfect for me, carefully riding the fine line between sedating and calming. I get a general sense of well-being from Aclonia cava that I don't plan on giving up anytime soon. I really did not expect to like this as much as I do. I honestly expected slight disappointment, but thanks ND, you did it again. So clearly a lot of people are benefiting from Aclonia cava, and this was my experience when I first started using it. I was blown away by the effects. And in terms of the safety profile, let's explore whether or not it does actually have a good safety profile. Aclonia cava has a strong safety profile. Numerous studies have shown that it is safe when taken in typical supplement doses. There are some considerations. Aclonia cava is a seaweed and thus contains iodine. This may be relevant for people with thyroid disorders. Another consideration is the anticoagulant activity of fucoidan. High doses of fucoidan-rich seaweed extracts could theoretically enhance blood thinning, although normal supplemental doses of Eclonia cava have not been shown to cause bleeding issues. So that pretty much wraps up today's video on Eclonia cava. This is a powerful medicinal seaweed that definitely deserves a lot more attention. If you have used Eclonia cava, leave a comment down below. Let's get a discussion going. And as always, guys, please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. That's it from me today, guys. I look forward to seeing you in the next video.